Hello, how are you? I'm Kris of Krissy's Over the Mountain Crochet and Crafts, and today I want to give you a yarn review. I want to review Lion Brand Mandala Ombre yarn. This is the yarn I used to make the Leafy lace wrap. I loved the yarn, but I want to talk to you about the yarn. I want to give you an honest yarn review. I am not being supported by any yarn companies. I haven't been asked to do this. I'm doing this because sometimes I get curious. Wonder what that yarn is like. And you know what it's like to buy yarn and then you're not happy with it. I'm going to give you a very honest yarn review. So Mandala Ombre, this is what the label looks like in the store. Now I have all of the specs from the yarn company on my computer here and I'd like to read them to you. All right, so the yarn weight is a 4 medium worsted. I want you to know that this is more like, this is close to, let me put my hand in front of it. In my opinion, it's not a 3, but it's not a large 4. So keep that in mind. You're going to have a smaller product. Both of these products behind me, this one is Red Heart Super Saver, although I did use a yarn hook that was the wrong yarn hook. I went up one size. You can see there's a difference in size. So this is a 4 Red Heart Super Saver, and even within Red Heart Super Saver, you have sometimes it's bigger than the normal worsted weight. So this is a little on the small side. All right, so here's what else it says. It says that the crochet gauge is 4 by 4 inch is 14 single crochets by 20 rows. Of course, in my Leafy lace wrap, I give you the measurements of the segments. Each cake has 344 yards or 315 meters, and the whole total weight is 5.3 ounces or 150 grams. It is 100% acrylic, and this is, in my opinion, a very nice acrylic. You can machine wash it and dry it. And I made 2 swatches. I washed it with a small load and it agitated pretty hard. Then I put it through the dryer, and I'll show you the results of those in just a moment. All right, so this is my honest review, and I have written this on my website. So let me read this to you. I found a couple of knots. I used 3 and a little bit more cakes on the Leafy Lace Chemo prayer wrap. So if you want to shorten the border, you can do that and just get by with 3 cakes, or maybe eliminate a couple of those leaf sequences because that. But anyway, this isn't an advertisement for the Leafy lace wrap, but I will refer to it from time to time. I only found 2 knots, which wasn't bad, and the knots were not in a bad spot. It didn't go from one color and gradate to a weird color. I do like the ombre gradation. I do not like how the color runs stop suddenly. I left that portion of it hanging because to me, that's the ugliest portion of that wrap, because I don't like how those colors just stop and start. I'd like for it to be a smooth color transition so that it's not really noticeable. But that's their yarn. That's their choice. That is so far the only thing. That's the only thing I don't like about this yarn. So the yarn goes over my hook very easy. It slides. It's an easy yarn to work with. It's a pretty yarn to work with. Now you're wondering what it looks like after it's washed, right? So here are my 2 swatches. This is the swatch that was not washed and dried. And it actually has sizing in it. You can feel the sizing in it because this is the swatch that was washed and dried. And I don't know if you can see, there's a tad bit of a halo on that now, but it's very soft. It's much softer. And it came out drier, the same size, and it came out so soft. Now, I did something that I thought, you know, everyone measures, but yarn stretches. So I plopped it down on a piece of paper and I traced the swatch that I was washing. So this swatch was traced, and there's no way I can show you on camera how it fits. So I plopped it down and took a picture of it, and you'll see the picture over there. It didn't shrink. So it didn't lose much color, if it lost any color at all, because like I said, this is when you compare it to this color, right here, it didn't lose color at all. So I'm happy with this yarn. Now, if you can't find Lion Brand Mandala Ombre, let me tell you what the substitutions are. If you go to yarnsub.com, so yarns that you can get that would be comparable is, it has listed first big twist yarns. It says that it's a 98% match. It's an S on S plied. I'll have the link on my website for this. You can look this up. It says Lion Brand Jeans yarn is a 97% match. Excellent match is what it says. 2 wands of Color Theory yarn, and I don't even, it's by Lion Brand. It's a 97% match. Now, a 94% match would be Hobie Kind Feather or Hobie Tweed Dreams, or I don't even know what this is. It's by Circulo Yarns. You can tell I live in West Virginia because I'm not familiar with so many of these yarns. All of the links are on my website. I wrote an article that has all of these links in it. I'll put that link in the description. You can go to that article on the yarn review and click all those links and see those yarns. If you're wanting to make a project that uses Lion Brand Mandala yarn and you don't have any on hand, go to yarnsub.com and look those up. It says Bon Bon Classic is a 93% match. I kind of would want to stick with a 97. So I did a search on Ravelry of Lion Brand Mandala Ombre. I don't know why I keep saying Lion Brand. It just is a habit. It says there are 5,511 projects. Let me click on the projects. So many pretty projects. There is Kasha V's Gulliver Beanie. It's a knit beanie, and it is in the colorway 201 Cool. So I really liked Jordy Nandane 9698. I liked her blanket. She made a corner-to-corner blanket. She used the color 201 Cool. Pretty cool. It is a pretty blanket. This yarn would make beautiful chemo caps. It would make nice baby blankets because, like I said, after it came out of the wash, it didn't show any sign of pilling. It didn't show any sign, I mean, it had a little bit of a loft on it, but it would make a nice chemo cap, a nice baby blanket. Washing this yarn didn't do anything to the yarn. If I were to make a project for someone, I would cut the yarn. I don't like the way the color runs stop suddenly. I would doctor the yarn. Now, since I was just making that and letting it flow, to me, that is not pleasing. If that's okay with you, then that's fine. But I don't recommend that. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. It's by CMP Baker. And she knit this beautiful blanket. And it is gorgeous. Is this blanket not gorgeous? I wish I could knit. She made the Pemberley blanket by India Hershey. She used colorway Harmony, and it is pretty. And I really like that. I love looking at projects. Don't you love looking at the projects? All right. Then this next one. Oh, I love this next one. It's a Ripple baby cardigan. Isn't that pretty? Now, I love the way the back looks, but I'm not a fan of the front, so I would definitely cut the yarn on this one. I don't like those. I like things to be even and symmetrical, but the back of it is just gorgeous. I think you could probably just make that into a dress if you ask me. Just don't make a seam, just keep going round and round. I think that would be a beautiful dress. So isn't that pretty? All right, and she used, and it has the pattern there. And let me see, do I have the pattern on my website? No, I don't have but the link to the pattern is on that is there. So go to my website. I'll have that listed on my website. All right, I want to show you Manaki's Heirloom Shells baby blanket. Here's a link to her design, and here's her screenshot. But then I've got to show you the Heirloom Shells baby blanket. That was the summer. I was expecting my second granddaughter, and I thought for sure my daughter was going to love this blanket. And she said, "No, Mom," and I'm like, "Okay." That was a crochet along. I really enjoyed designing that baby blanket. And anyway, the links are there for that one also. So let me go to the next one. Stacia A.M. Fox. Oh, this one's nice. I really like this one. She used Daisy Farm Crafts stitch called the Even Moss stitch and made this beautiful blanket. I just love this blanket. This would be nice as a gift for a baby or just over the back of your couch. There are so many things that you can do with this mandala yarn. I would cut the yarn. I am going to give this a out of 5 stars, I'm going to give it 4.5 because I don't like the abrupt color runs. Yeah, it had a couple of knots, but it wasn't bad. It didn't have any thick and thin spots. There weren't any stray frays, and the end of the yarn it's not going to come apart if you mess with it. It stays twisted very nice. It's a good yarn. I'm happy with it. This was my honest yarn review of Lion Brand Mandala. You can read more about my yarn review at ChrissysOverTheMountainCrochet.com. I'll put the link to this specific post of my yarn review. Well, it was good to have you on my side of the mountain. I hope you'll come again soon. And I hope if you try Lion Brand and you want to send me your review, I'll add it to that blog post. I'd be happy to do that. I just want people to understand and to know what this yarn is really like. Well, it was good to see you. I hope you'll come again soon. Make sure to like and subscribe for more honest yarn reviews and to find more free crochet pattern tutorials. It was good to have you on my side of the mountain. Bye.